Welcome to all. Today we will start our first lecture on energy scenario. First of all, we have to understand the what is the course description and objective. The course is going to explore the knowledge of present energy scenario, energy sources, primary and secondary energy, scope of energy conservation in view of climate change and environment. And this course provide a platform of to understand the limited energy generation from the conventional system and scope of energy audit and conservation, Energy Conservation Act, Electricity Act, and what are the different sector where we can save the electrical energy and scope of electrical energy conservation, especially in domestic agriculture and industrial sectors. Because the energy conservation is a mandatory and answerable to the next generation. This is the some course description and objective that the students are able to understand the method of energy conservation, method of energy audit, able to present their suggestions in a prescribed manner, in a that is going to give the fruitful result of the energy audit report. And his the students also able to understand the performance analysis of electrical gadgets as well as the financial some criteria to apply the financial criteria and financial analysis in the energy conservation and energy auditing. So after the course outcome is that after successful completion of this course, the student will be able to understand the current energy scenario and impact of energy conservation in view of social and environmental cause. So energy conservation and energy audit is a win-win situation for the customer, society, and the utilities. So it is all everybody is happy if you do the proper energy conservation and energy auditing. Second is the apply basic knowledge of energy, basic knowledge of engineering to understand the need of energy audit, identify the methods, analyze the technical and economical feasibility, whatever the suggestions summarize after conducting the detailed energy audit for any particular premises or industry. And also students also say give some fruitful suggestions and summarize all the suggestions for the benefit for the society and utility. Next is the identify the method of energy management, able to use some IT tools, some modern uh, measuring instruments, recording instruments, and it is a lifelong learning in the application of modern tools and measuring instrument. A student will able to analyze the data, analyze the electric tariff, and come to some fruitful result from the demand side management. Next is to conduct an investigation and consumption in the motive illumination, heating, and cooling system for conserving the electrical energy by professional and ethical way and able to solve the engineering problems, and apply appropriate techniques resources for analyzing and performance assessment of the motor, because we come to know that in every type of industry the large amount of load uh, is nothing but the motive power. It is different type of motors, especially the motors we are using presently is the three phase induction motor. So we should able or student should able to understand the understand the performance assessment of the motor. What are the different options in case of if the motors needed for under the variable speed, so variable frequency drives are there nowadays. BLDC motors and permanent magnet synchronous motors also available. So what is the impact of these advanced motors instead of the conventional motors are there? Cooling system, pumping system, lighting system, and student also able to recognize the importance of financial analysis. So whatever the suggestions from the after conducting the energy audit, the suggestions should be feasible economically as well as the technically. So therefore, the financial analysis and financial knowledge, the basic terms of the finance, is very much necessary to understand. And this is the some overview of the course and course objective as well as the course outcome. Now we will start. This is say introduction. The energy is the major input for any development of the country, and for any country, uh, the energy become a very important part. If you are importing the energy from other, definitely it will affect over the economy of the system. So we should be self-reliance. Whatever the energy need by the country of the different sector, it should be fulfilled in home, that is in the country. And if we are producing the ample quantity or the sufficient quantity to fulfill the demand of the consumer from the country itself, definitely the country is going to develop. Okay, so energy can be classified in the several type based on the following criteria. One is the primary and secondary energy, commercial and non-commercial energy, and renewable and non-renewable energy. So first of all, we will see the primary and secondary energy. This is the PPT which I have taken from one uh, training program which I have attended in the IIT Powai. So this is a very nice explanation. This can be, this is a PPT which explain very nicely the present scenario and different primary and secondary energies are there. Say for example, we will start from the coal because India is a coal-based country. We have ample quantity of coal mines across the country, and hence we see that there are a number of power plants is the thermal power plant. Especially in Maharashtra, we will find a number of thermal power plants are there. So first we will consider a primary energy is a coal. The 96% of the coal, or say ample quantity of coal, is going to utilize to generate the electrical energy in the thermal power plant. So electrical energy is the secondary energy, whereas the coal is the primary energy, and part of the coal is utilized to coal burner. Coal burner is nothing but the boilers. Different type of boilers are there in the industry, and many applications are there. Instead of using the electrical energy, we are using the coal as a for the coal burner. Now most of the coal is utilized to convert into the electrical energy in the thermal power plants. Second is the, say, if you consider is the nuclear energy, it is entirely used for the generation of electrical power plant. Here, instead of coal, we are using nuclear material as a fuel for generation of steam, and rest of the system is as similar to the thermal power plant. Only the fuel is going to change from coal to the nuclear material. Renewable energy, we are using mostly in the heating purposes. For example, it is in the agriculture sector from drying of some agriculture product. It may be a water heating, it is a solar heaters. Even though we are producing the electrical energy with the help of renewables from the solar, from the renewable from the solar and this one. Oil, we are using gases, natural gas we are using for the burners. Instead of using the coal burners, we are using the gas burner because it has a good control over the system. It can be start up and can be switched very easily as compared to the coal burner. And we are also using for the generation of electricity. So this is the second primary energy source. So biomass, it is used for the biomass burners are there, and very few amount of biomass is going to use for the generation of electricity. Now third is the oil. India going to purchase the oil from the different say Gulf countries are there. It is importing, and therefore the cost of crude oil is very high. It is get converted into the useful form in the refineries, and they are directly using in the diesel engine. It may be a petrol engine, aircraft, and other applications. part of this oil is used for the electrical generation, but this type of electrical generation as a backup generation, these are used whenever the power failure in the any premises. The in individual premises there is a diesel generator set, electrical generator sets are there, and it is used as IC engine is used as a prime mover, and therefore it is used as a power backup. Some of the diesel power plant, diesel engine are diesel generator set also used in the thermal power plant as a some backup supply, or some for emergency conditions are there. So we come to know that these are the primary energy source, and this primary energy source has to be converted into the conversion facility to use in the different applications. Say oil can be converted into the useful form. Crude oil is going to convert into the diesel, petrol, kerosene, and with the help of some refineries. So refinery is the conversion facilities available to convert primary energy into the secondary energy. Similarly, coal they are going to convert into the electrical energy with the help of conversion facility is the thermal power plants are there. So this is the some applications are there, and for once the electrical energy is going to generate, it is maybe used in heating, cooling purposes, lighting devices, electronics components are there, isn't it? And similarly, the motors, most of the systems are motor drives are there. So this is a very good PPT, which can be is very explanatory itself for the primary and secondary energy the system. So this is some small historical view of electrical power generation in India. The first power plant, it is a say DC power plant. Edison 100 kilowatt DC power plants are there, and after that we have installed some Westinghouse Tesla AC power plant, because AC power can be transmitted at a long distance as compared to the DC generation. Darjeeling power plant, it is a 13 kilowatt, it is a hydropower plant. And if you look at before independence, the capacity is only 1.362 megawatt, whereas the present capacity of the generating with a different type of power plant is more than 200 times during the independence. So there is a establishment of NTPC, NHPC, power grids, and these are the some uh, time axis, and this is the different type of power plants we have installed in across the country. Now energy flow diagram, it is a very important to understand what is the different energy conversion from primary energy to the secondary, and how it is going to use at the end user. So primary energy we are considering here the coal, oil, solar gas is the primary energy. It is get converted into the useful form with the energy conversion facilities. That energy conversion facilities may be the power plant, refineries, and it is get converted into the secondary energy, and the secondary energy is nothing but the refined oil. The refined oil may be petrol, diesel, kerosene is there, and electrical energy. So this is one primary energy is converted into the secondary one. Now this secondary energy has to be transmitted at the load center, or where it is going to consume by a different consumer. So if it is a petrol, diesel, it can be transmitted with the help of trucks, with the help of railway, with the help of some pipelines. So it can be transmitted, and if it is electrical energy, it is going to transmit with the transmission and distribution network, and that is nothing but the consumer they are going to purchase. It may be petrol or it may be electrical energy, and it is used in the different application, like energy can be utilized in the automobile sector, it may be used in the lighting illumination purposes, motors and some stoves are there. So this is the application, and it is end user is the motive power, radiant energy, and whatever it may be type on. So this is the flow chart which indicate the prime energy conversion facilities up to the end user. Now we will consider a pump which is at the farmer level. So first of all, we will consider coal. It is get extracted from the coal mines. transported up to the power plant. So there is a 90% efficiency is there. So there is a say, we can say that there's a losses in the from transportation from mines to the power plants. The thermal power plant efficiency is very small. It is in the range of 30 to 35%. So the power plant efficiency, especially it is, I'm talking about the hydropower plant, thermal power plant, the efficiency is only the 30 to 35%. So after that, it is get transmitted with the help of transmission line and distribution network. So the transmission and distribution losses are around 20 to 22%, and hence we get the efficiency 78%. Now the electrical energy reached at the doorstep of farmer or end user are there. If they are using the motor pump set, again the efficiency is small. No doubt the motor efficiency is good, more than 90%, but the efficiency centrifugal pump or submersible pump have a higher efficiency whereas compared to the centrifugal pump. So the efficiency of the system is again motor pump set is small. So we can say that only uh, if there is a 3 units are there in the primary, we are reaching at the 1 unit electrical energy at the doorstep. So our conclusion and our motive is to discuss this point is that if you conserve the electrical energy at the doorstep, at the premises, at the user end, definitely we are going to save some 3 fundamental unit. Either it may be form of coal, water, and this one. Or in short, we can say that generate, uh, conservation of electrical energy is nothing but the generation of electrical energy. If you are conserving 1 unit of electrical energy, the meaning is that you are generating 3 unit of electrical energy at the power plant. So this is the importance of energy conservation from this flow chart. India energy scenario is that India is a coal-based power plant. Coal-gas based country is there. We have an ample quantity of coal across the India. So we are going to produce electrical energy with the help of coal, no doubt. The efficiency of thermal power plant is small, but because of the new trends and technology in a cooling system, the efficiency has been increased. And India coal having some more ash and it have some difficulty in the uh, say removing of the ash. So many times we are importing the coal from the other countries, and mixed coal we are using in the power plant. Oil supply, the most of the oil is going to import from the Gulf country. So if some energy conservation, demand side management uh, may be implemented, we can reduce the import. Uh, uh, we are able to reduce the oil to be imported from the other countries. So this is the some natural gas is available, electrical energy supply. So most of the energy is going to supply with the help of mixed power plant. It may be a thermal, hydro. Nowadays, solar power plants on grid, rooftop system is also there, or on the ground power plants also there. Hydro and nuclear power plants, hydro power plants are generally used for the peaking load, or is the proper scheduling between the hydropower plant and thermal power plant, we are able to supply the power to this one. So this is the things up to this one. Today this I will stop this lecture over here, and next time we will continue this the second part of this lecture. Thank you.